Hello friends, how are you all? I'm doing well. Welcome everybody to my YouTube channel, Nature at the Very Core of Science. Today I have picked up another very interesting topic of United States history, American history, and that is stock market crash. Please let me know your thoughts. Share your comments. I would be enthralled to interact with you. So, we all know about the Great Depression, and we wonder what is the cause of that Great Depression. Now, throughout the 1920s, the US economy expanded fast, and the nation's wealth more than doubled between 1920 and 1929. And this period is called the Roaring Twenties. The stock market, which is centered at the New York Stock Exchange on Wall Street in New York City, was the scene of reckless speculation. We all know about that, where everyone from millionaire businessmen to the lower classes poured their savings into stocks. Now, speculation was a risk since Americans were buying shares of a specific company in hopes that the shares would rise in price. But that's not guaranteed. As a result, the stock market underwent rapid expansion, reaching its peak in August 1929. But what happened after that? The American economy entered a mild recession, which is economic decline. And, we all know that may last for months. And that summer of 1929, this recession happened. This occurred as consumer spending slowed and unsold goods began to pile up, which in turn slowed the factory production. Nonetheless, the stock prices still continued to rise, and by the fall of that year, it has reached levels that couldn't be justified by expected future earnings. Then, on October 24, 1929, nervous investors began selling overpriced shares in masses. The stock market crashed, and that was the thing which many had feared earlier, and that already took place. A record 12.9 billion shares were traded that day, known as the Black Thursday. 5 days later, on October 29, or which is also known as Black Tuesday, some 16 million shares were traded after another wave of panic swept Wall Street. The value of millions of shares ended up worthless, and those investors who were buying on margin, that means buying stock with borrowed money, were wiped out completely. The stock market crash signaled the start of the Great Depression. Now, we also want to know the impact. The consumer confidence disappeared after the stock market crash. Spending decreased, which led factories to slow down production and begin laying off their workers. For those who were lucky enough to remain employed, wages fell. Many Americans who were buying on credit fell into debt, and the number of foreclosures increased as well. In order to survive, many waited in bread lines, soup kitchens for food, and lived in shanty towns, also known as Hoovervilles, an insult to President Hoover at that time for his lack of help.